Knowing yourself and being able to be there for yourself is one of the biggest assets you can have in life. Why ask for advice from others when you have so much knowledge within you? And I will be able to calm myself down and I'll be able to support myself in that situation. Getting all that information out of your head and onto paper. The biggest, best thing about journaling, this is really something that allows me to just continuously live a good life, because then I know exactly what has been contributing to that greatness, and you really get into the details. And because I've practiced all these journaling techniques, I am very connected to myself. One thing I am so convinced about is that journaling has the ability to completely change your life. So today I'm going to be sharing my top 5 journaling techniques, and all the journaling techniques that I'll be sharing today are also for different needs. So please make sure to watch this video from the beginning until the end so that you don't miss out on any important information or a technique that you might really need right now. First of all, if you're new here, my name is Cila. Welcome to my channel. The people that have been around know that I absolutely love journaling, so I thought that it would only be appropriate to share my most used journaling techniques. The first journaling technique that I absolutely love is to give yourself advice as your higher self. The reason why I love this is because we're very used to asking external sources for advice when there's so much knowledge within us. It's so normal to go to a friend for advice, to go to your partner, to your parents, to your siblings. And I don't think that there's necessarily something wrong with that, but I do find it sad that we don't ask ourselves for advice enough, because one huge gift that we've been given is our intuition and our gut feeling. And secondly, at the end of the day, you know exactly what's right for you, because you are the only person who has experienced every single thing that you've gone through in life. So when you go to others for advice, the advice that's provided to you is based on their experiences, so the advice is biased. Imagine you have a friend who has gone through really bad dating experiences. Then their advice is going to come out of a place of resentment, hurt, frustration, maybe a lack of self-love. So I don't think that that advice is going to be the best for you. And obviously people always want to help. They don't do this consciously, but every single advice you're going to get is going to be biased and is always going to be based on other people's lives. And that's why, first of all, I would never take advice from anyone who isn't at a place in life where you want to eventually be. And second of all, I also just think, why ask for advice from others when you have so much knowledge within you and when deep down you know exactly what's right for you? So what I do in this journaling technique is I first write down everything that I'm struggling with. Say I need to make a big decision in life, but I'm a little bit scared and I don't know if it's the right thing. Then I will write down all my worries. Then I will take a step back and I'll take maybe like a deep breath, or just kind of connect to my intuition, connect to my higher self, and then we'll go back in, but not out of a place of fear and not out of a place of anxiety or whatever you might feel, but I will come back out of a place of confidence, listening to my heart and not to my ego. And then I can really provide myself advice based on what's best for me, and I will be able to calm myself down and I'll be able to support myself in that situation. And if you struggle with, you know, maybe tapping into your higher self, and maybe you self-sabotage easily, or you are like, okay, that sounds great, but like I know that if I'm going to give myself advice, it's going to be bad or it's going to come out of a negative place, then I really recommend you to just think about what you would advise your friend to do. A very close friend who you only wish the best for. And the reason why I find this journaling technique so important is because you build trust and confidence in yourself, and you'll be able to guide yourself in moments of stress. You'll be able to be there for yourself, and you'll know exactly what to do because you can discern between your lowest and your highest self. You can discern between when your ego is in the way and when your thoughts are taking over, or when you're listening to your heart and following your intuition. Journaling technique number 2, I call the mind dump, and I use this whenever I feel overwhelmed, whenever I am overthinking stuff, whenever I'm just way too much into my head. This is the perfect journaling technique. So basically for this, there's no structure. All you need to do is just write down everything that comes to your mind and that you're thinking about. If you're sad, write down all those sad feelings. If you're happy, write that down. If you are excited, if you're full of ideas, write that down as well. This is just honestly for getting all that information out of your head and onto paper so that you will have more mental clarity. It will also really help you to let go of things that might bother you. I think that a lot of the times if you don't let it out, it's going to honestly just accumulate and you're going to be overwhelmed. It can lead to numbness if you don't let your feelings out, which honestly sucks. Or you will just feel so overwhelmed and so stressed and frustrated because you have so much going on in your head. So I think that writing something down can be such a mental relief. And another thing I love about this is that you become very self-aware. The third journaling technique is the gratitude flow. The gratitude flow is basically when you kind of not necessarily force yourself, but you just get into a flow of gratitude. I would advise you to start off with some simple things to be grateful for, such as your health, your loved ones, your job, maybe something nice that happened today or yesterday. And then you kind of challenge yourself to just keep on writing and to keep on thinking about more things to be grateful for. And at a certain point, you're going to get into a state where you become grateful for the smallest things that you often overlook. And I love this because, first of all, gratitude is just such an important thing to practice in life. Being able to live a fulfilled life has a lot to do with your ability to be grateful for things. Why I also find this so important is because we just take so many things for granted on a day-to-day basis. Things that might seem very normal to you are such a big blessing that is so important to become aware of. Like, for example, one thing that my gratitude flows really made me realize is the love my family has. I have a very tight, close-knit family that has so much love for each other, and I think that because I kind of grew up with that, that was normal for me, right? And when I was younger, I was often focused on the negative things, and I would look at other families and be like, oh, but they have this and I don't have that. But if you continuously look for what's missing in life, you will only find more of that. And if you start looking for the things that are already present in your life, you will first of all attract more blessings into your life, and secondly, you'll be able to enjoy your life so much more because you can focus on those things, and because gratitude is so connected to those feelings of joy and happiness and inner peace. Self-reflection is the fourth journaling technique, and I absolutely love this one. I think that this is really something that allows me to just continuously live a good life, because I'm always reflecting on what is going well, what isn't going well, where can I improve, how can I support myself better. And this will help you so much to, first of all, improve your life, to hold yourself accountable, to get to know yourself better, for honestly so many things, for reaching your goals. I'm going to get deeper into it in a little bit because this might be a bit confusing, but basically what I do in my self-reflection is I first of all write down everything that isn't necessarily going well in my life. And you can do this whenever you want. Like, sometimes I'll go through a phase and I'm like, life isn't really hitting lately, let me do a self-reflection. Sometimes I do it at the end of the month, at the end of a week, or when life is going great, I also write it down, because then I know exactly what has been contributing to that greatness, you know? Like, it's also a really effective journaling technique for knowing how to support yourself and for getting to know what your energy givers are, what your energy drainers are. Anyways, what I do with this journaling technique is I first write down everything that isn't going well. So for example, say I'm dealing with a lot of laziness, okay? I'm going to reflect and identify what has been causing the laziness. Maybe because I feel really tired. Okay, I write that down, then I go deeper into it. Why do I feel tired? What has been contributing to my tiredness? Is it that I don't sleep well? Is it that I don't do enough that makes me happy? Like, do I feel burnt out? Is it because I don't get enough fresh air? Is it because I don't move my body? Is it because of my nutrition? Is it because my mental health is bad? Write down all of that. Let's think, what else? You get the gist, right? You just write down everything that has been contributing to it, and you really get into the details. You really try to just figure out the root causes of it. And then I will create a separate list or go on to the next page, and I will write down all the behaviors that I want to start doing to combat that laziness. Because I've done this so much, and because I've practiced all these journaling techniques, I am very connected to myself. So I know exactly what I need to do in a certain situation. So if I know, okay, I'm dealing with laziness, I will oftentimes, first of all, delete social media. Secondly, I will make sure that I go to bed at the same time every day, and I will wake up at the same time every day. Thirdly, I will say, like, okay, every day I'm going to dedicate 1 hour to doing something that I truly enjoy. Or for example, if you've been feeling very stressed lately, why have you been feeling stressed? Okay, there's a lot going on in my life right now. I have a lot of deadlines. I have been running around all the time. I've been saying yes a lot to things. Okay, you have a list of that. What am I going to do to feel more calm, to feel more peaceful? Okay, I'm going to dedicate my evenings to winding down. I'm going to start off my day with a meditation. I'm going to start off my day with a yoga flow instead of checking my phone, because checking your phone in the morning immediately is going to increase your cortisol levels, which are already high, you know? I will be more greedy with my time. I will say no more to things that I don't necessarily need to or want to attend. You get it, right? Basically, you will write down exactly how you can support yourself in this situation. And it doesn't necessarily need to be for something that isn't going well. It could also be for accomplishing your goals, right? It just allows you to break like a bigger goal into smaller steps so that you can either get somewhere where you want to be, or you can get rid of something that isn't contributing to your happiness. Be as creative, but also be as precise as possible and as realistic as possible, okay? Because you don't want to overwhelm yourself, you don't want to create more stress. The goal of this is really to support yourself. And then the last journaling technique are my monthly reflections. And if you're an OG subscriber, you already know about this technique. I filmed a video on my monthly reset routine, so I already shared this before. So basically at the end of every month, I write down all my accomplishments of that month, my highlights, the things I was grateful for, and everything that I've learned. And the combination of these 4 things, I honestly just came up with it one day, but I have been using it ever since for the past like 3 years, I think. It's just a really great practice in my opinion to, first of all, accomplishments, be proud of yourself. I don't think that we take enough moments to really be proud of ourselves and to realize how much we've grown or how much we've achieved in a month. Like so many things happen in a month and you easily forget about it. So I think it's just a great time to remember that and to just give yourself a pat on the shoulder and be like, whoa, down. I'm proud of you. That's amazing that you're doing that right now. In the highlight section, I write down all the memories of that month, everything that I loved, whether those were hangouts with friends, moments alone, little cute moments that happened that just brought me joy. I just love writing that down. The third thing is gratitude. And opposed to the gratitude flow, with this, I really focus specifically on the things I'm grateful for that happened that particular month. I already mentioned why I find gratitude so important, so I'm not going to go into it again, but basically I would just think, okay, what was great this month? What blessings came into my life? What am I particularly grateful for this month? The last section is my favorite section because that's when I write down everything that I've learned that month. In this section, you can write down so many different things. Maybe you found out something that makes you really happy. You can write that down. Maybe you stumbled across a quote that really stuck with you. You can write that down as well. Honestly, just writing stuff down makes you remember it. I feel like that also just really increased my self-awareness and also helped me with the first journaling technique I talked about, which is when you provide advice to yourself. Maybe you went through a really rough period and you were able to get out of it. And then you noticed that one particular thing really helped you to get out of it. You can write that down, for example. Or if you're like, okay, whoa, my energy levels were really high this month, you can write down why. Because that's also something you learned, right? Just to give your future self a reminder and to get to know yourself better. I think the biggest, best thing about journaling is that you will get to know yourself. You will get to know yourself on such a deep level. And I think that we underestimate how powerful we can be when we know ourselves. Knowing yourself and being able to be there for yourself is one of the biggest assets you can have in life. So, those were my journaling techniques, guys. I really hope that this video was helpful. I'm sorry if I talked a little bit too much. I get passionate about things like these. Regardless, I hope that you were able to take something away from this video. If you have any particular journaling techniques that have helped you, please leave those down below in the comments because I would love to try some new techniques and we can also then obviously just help each other out. If you have any questions, also leave that down below in the comments, and then I will probably see you guys next week or in 2 weeks because I have an exam week coming up, so I might not film something, but love you. Thank you for watching. See you soon.